My husband is acting suspicious, so I hired a private investigator. My husband, male 47, and I, female 44, have been married for just over a decade, and it has been, for the most part, a loving marriage centered around our 2 beautiful children. By the way, this comes from U-Choice Evidence 1983, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to ROK Storytime subreddit. So, of course, I've had grievances. He travels a lot for work, is constantly glued to his phone, and sometimes would abruptly pop out for errands. Quotes that he has always been incredibly vague about. I'm going to get eggs.
Yeah, that's her name for sure.
Dude, egg sounds hot.
Eggs.
Initially, this didn't concern me too much. He has a very demanding job that has allowed us to have a lifestyle I never thought possible. Meant that I could leave work to be with children, take us on wonderful holidays, send the children to a great school. I always felt that complaining to him about his work, phone, computer, and random emergencies would be so selfish considering everything he does for us. It actually would just be healthy communication. However, 2 weeks ago, I started getting really suspicious after I had found a love sock in the inside pocket of his blazer. There was no reason for him to have it there, as we only have spicy sleep at home, and frankly, it isn't something we do as often as we used to. This prompted me to do something I never thought I would do, but I found an opportunity to get into his phone when he wasn't looking.
That's bad.
We're going into we
That's
don't trust
already
each other
bad.
mode.
The relationship's already over.
I first looked at his photos but couldn't find anything. Then I thought I would check his messaging apps. WhatsApp, Telegram, both were password locked. Only iMessage could be accessed, but there was barely anything there. At this point, I had a sinking feeling something was up. Last year, a friend was in a similar situation and used a digital investigator to learn more about her absent and secretive fiance. The investigator found out that this man had been living a complete double life with a long-term girlfriend in Edinburgh, and unbelievably a whole business he had set up and was earning money from. She had no idea about the business or all the money he was earning from it, and no doubt spending, on his girlfriend. I asked for the investigators' details and requested that they pull together anything and everything they could find about my husband. And so the investigators spent about a week digging online and came back to me with a report that changed my life forever. I got a call from the investigator warning me that my husband's report would be a very difficult read and that I should open it in a private time when I would be able to process it fully. Since I received it, I have barely been able to eat, sleep, properly take care of the kids, or speak to him, and yet he is so absent-minded he doesn't even realize something is wrong. It turns out that my husband of over 10 years has been having an affair with a woman 15 years junior.
Oh.
Financing this woman's lifestyle and her failed business venture.
It's even worse. It failed?
It would have been fine if it was successful. Attending spicy sleep parties with her where they have spicy sleep with other partners. Posting in a revolting online spicy sleep forum, including pictures of his genitals and details his regular user in to the internet videos of spicy people doing spicy acts and escorts to his creepy online friends. Based on these posts online, has clearly been spending thousands on escorts as far back as 7 years ago. I have no idea where to go from here. I don't know what to do. I have no idea how to confront him about this or if I should see a lawyer first. I know the obvious decision is to simply divorce, but our children are 9 and 7 and I have loved him since we first met 14 years ago. And I know that I have a place in his heart too in spite of these actions. If he is truly a regular user of what? Then is there a way to get through this if he agrees to treatment? By user, does he mean like addiction to spicy and love? Yeah. I'm a complete mess and I can't talk about this to anyone in person just yet. Any advice you have for me would be really appreciated. We have some relevant comments.
You have to divorce him. Like, it's not, I don't think it.
Or you can just join in.
No. This man has been lying to you for 7 years?
At least 7 years.
At least 7
half of the
years.
time you've known him.
Yeah. Just because you guys have kids, it doesn't.
She needs to get tested for STIs.
Absolutely. Like, not only has he lied to you, but he has put your life in danger.
Yeah.
And just, yeah, I think that for your sake and for your kids' sake, honestly, I don't think staying together would be the best option for them or for you.
Yeah, I can't imagine making this work.
Yeah, no.
If you have, it seems like there has been little communication in this marriage already. So if you're going from like 0 to like ninja level communication to be able to repair this, like that might be a miracle. So it's not looking, yeah. Like, that is possible. All right, we have some relevant comments. Commenter 1, do not confront him. Go see a high-powered attorney to see how you could come out on top. A good lawyer will get him to cover services, get your finances together, get spousal support, sue for compensation, the money spent on spicy workers and affairs, child support, have him cover college for both children, pay for all schooling and insurance till 26, get the child tax credits for each year. Because of his chronic infidelity being the cause of the divorce, you can get more than half in the divorce unless you're in a no-fault state. Also, see if you live in a state where you can sue her for alienation of affection. Get tested ASAP. Let your lawyer guide you on what to do before you let him know. Also, see as many high-powered attorneys. What about some low-powered attorneys?
Like mid-powered attorneys?
Yeah, maybe some mids.
Yeah.
As you can, so you can have the best shark and cripple his ability to use them as a lawyer. Don't forget all of his assets, investments, and retirement. Trying to ruin this man's life?
She probably is. I mean, well, actually,
No.
maybe not she, but this commenter is.
This commenter is trying to ruin this man's life. Ask for a forensic financial audit for any hidden monies. Bill him for everything and do not leave the marital home. Make slappy, phallic item move out. I'm sorry you're dealing with this, but you got to strike hard and be smart and don't silverline anything or take his word on anything. That is an approach from a person who seems to be very hurt by many people in their life.
But maybe it's gone through some, I don't know if a similar situation, but it might be a lawyer.
The person offering this
Could
thing
be a lawyer.
has been... No, they've been screwed. It's either they've been screwed over in their life or they're a lawyer who wants to get hired by them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It could be a lawyer who's like, you should find the best lawyer, the most expensive lawyer in the land.
Anywho, I have some contacts. It's me.
It's just me.
It's me. All right, OOP. Thanks for this. Sadly, because we are in the UK, cheating doesn't have much of a bearing on divorce outcomes. However, my solicitor is among the best in the UK, and I trust that we are going to do some real damage. Commenter 2. I'm sorry you're going through this. Please excuse me. How much does it cost to hire a private investigator?
Yes, that's
Sophia
what I
wants
wanted.
to know
The hard-hitting questions.
OOP. Hello. Sorry to only be responding now. It cost only £250.
That's...
Surprising.
Wait, per hour though? Like what's is that like the hourly rate? Okay.
No, for an initial sweep, but this is also an online.
Yeah.
But we also don't know how good this
private
investigator
investigator.
is.
They're not like following him in a car with like binocs.
Yeah, that's less interesting.
And then once some fishy things were found, I paid more for some additional hours of digging. All right, we have an update.
Woo!
Firstly, I'd like to thank almost every single one of you who has commented to leave me advice or message me privately. I took a lot of advice on board, especially legally speaking, and this has proven to be of great benefit. I apologize for my long absence and lack of replies. I hope the update below can explain it. I chose to wait until after New Year's as I did not want to rob the children of one last Christmas and New Year's holidays of family. You got to give them the best freaking Christmas and New Year's possible. They're like, oh my God, I've never got this many gifts. And you're like, that's because your father ruined our lives.
Yeah, and make sure that like, no one, don't tell them right after Christmas. Give it at least like 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah. In the meantime, I researched solicitors and sought recommendations from trusted friends. Rather humiliatingly, I did, after much urging on this website, also schedule and go through with an STI test. Great. It was horrifically embarrassing. I am relieved to say that it came negative.
Amazing.
That's great. I don't know how I could have coped if he had gotten me sick because of his revolting actions. Yeah, that would have added like a whole new layer onto everything. He made my job incredibly easy by flying out for, in quotes, work trip. Not that anything he says could ever be trusted on the second, and I immediately got the ball rolling. Met with the solicitor, packed up all his belongings into 6 suitcases, had the locks changed, and spoke to a child psychologist to work out the best way to explain things to the kids who are far too young to understand the full picture, of course. Fast forward to a week later, and upon his return, I'm having made sure the children were packed up by my mother after school, greeted him to a hallway full of suitcases and divorce papers. Okay. I had printed out the report in full and started walking him through it before he started breaking down in tears. It was a compulsion, and he was unbelievably stressed. And that if I left him, he would have no choice but to marry the other woman, whereas he would end it immediately if I were to take him back. This last part was truly the nail in the coffin. I don't think he even realized just how manipulative that comment was to make. After hours of a back and forth and of his groveling, I gave up. He was left at the bottom of the stairs and entrance to our home with his suitcases, waiting for a cab to take him to God knows where. There is still a lengthy legal process ahead, and unfortunately it turns out that him being unfaithful, etc., doesn't really impact how assets might be divided following the legal battle. However, I'm confident that my solicitor will get the outcome I need to keep the house and live independently. In terms of the children, I would rather not discuss them so as to keep it private, but it has been an incredibly difficult adjustment, and sometimes I do feel guilty. As for myself, I'm still completely heartbroken, and frankly, I don't ever hope to find love again. You will. You will.
Aw.
I just don't think I could quite trust like that again, but you never have to lose your trust. If you tune into full episodes with stories just like this by going to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime, because we will renew your trust in relationships. Just kidding. We'll probably do the opposite because you're going to be hearing all these
Yeah.
Reddit stories.
I was like, wait, this is not the place for trust in relationships.
Yeah. Finally, I'd like to just add that while most comments here have been lovely and supportive, I did get a number of comments and private messages blaming me for my soon-to-be ex-husband's behavior, claiming I did not give him sufficient spicy attention and that I shouldn't complain because he provided me with a certain lifestyle. Firstly, these comments are
I was
awful.
living a double life. Father by day and slinging it left and right by night.
Finally, these comments are awful and betray a repulsive worldview with regards to spicy sleep, intimacy, and marriage. Secondly, our ailing spicy sleep life was not my doing and was at times a criticism I myself had of our relationship, not the other way around. Yeah, because he was having all the spicy sleep he wanted.
He was going around and she was like, hey, what's going on, man? He was like, I'm busy. I'm working.
He's like, yeah, I'm not in
errands.
the mood, because he already had like 10 spicy sleep partners.
like sweating.
That day.
Super sweaty. He's like, I'm sorry. I'm the-
Thirdly, just because someone provides you with a lifestyle doesn't entitle them to treat you as if you're nothing, because people don't own people. With no respect and no honesty, I would have hoped all would be aware of that. Relevant comments. Commenter 1, affairs do matter if you can account for all the money he spent on the other woman. You deserve half of that and is often awarded in court because he spent marital money, which is half yours. Comb through credit card and bank statements for hotel, restaurant, gift purchases that you never received. This process is painful, but you deserve your half of everything he spent on dating her. If you can't bring yourself to do it, hire someone who will. Hire the same PI.
Yeah.
Like, I got
Seemed like
another
he was
job for you,
pretty
bud.
effective.
Hire Magnum PI.
Oh,
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck. It can also be used as a powerful bargaining tool if he doesn't want other people to know what he did. Commenter 2, hours of groveling? What a sorry reaction. Anyways, I'm glad he didn't get you sick, and I hope the best for you and your kids as you move on.